these aren't the cameras you're looking for. So you're in the market for a brand new camera. These are the 5 fundamental questions you should ask before buying any camera. I'm Rafael, and welcome to the channel. It almost feels like every month there's a new camera system being announced. Nikon, Sony, Panasonic, Canon, the list goes on. And all these come with fantastic specs and promises. But before you buy any camera, you really need to ask yourself, what is the camera for you? Like really, what is the camera that is going to be best for you, not only right now, but also in the long run? Because you can't be buying a new camera every time they announce something new. I've had cameras that I've had for about 10 years and I still use them. There are a lot of cameras that I'm looking at and definitely question if I want to buy. I'm really interested in the Sony systems, but for the most part, I am with Canon. But that doesn't mean automatically I'm going to choose a Canon over every other thing else. But there are considerations as to why I do lean heavily towards one camera system as I do to these other ones, regardless of how great the specs seem on paper, because a lot of these specs are really, really good. So here are the 5 fundamental questions you should ask before buying any camera. Number 1, is it worth migrating to a whole new camera system? Yes, there are plenty of camera systems that are out there that promise amazing specs, an amazing experience, amazing video quality, and all around awesomeness. However, if you already have lenses and gear and accessories that complement your camera, is it worth migrating to a completely new camera system? And here's what I mean by that. Not only are you going to be going into a new camera that's going to give you great quality, but you're gonna have to buy potentially new lenses, new adapters, and other gear that complements that specific camera system. Is it worth migrating over? When I think about it, the word migrate kind of sounds too close like the word migraine. So it could be potentially a lot of headaches going down the road. If you already have an installed camera system, migrating to a whole new camera system, maybe more than just spending the money on that one camera and extra lens, it could be a whole other slew of gear that you need to buy. So that is something you need to take into consideration when considering a new camera system. Question number 2 is, do you stick with DSLR or move to Mirrorless? It's Miller time. Do you stick with DSLR or switch to the new mirrorless systems? The mirrorless camera systems are new, they're really exciting, and the potential for them to evolve into something amazing is really, really there. However, DSLRs are proven and they've worked in many situations, and they work really well in most situations, and you get the optical viewfinder, so the benefits are proven. But mirrorless systems offer a lot of potential moving forward. They offer smaller body designs, they're compacter, they're light than the conventional DSLRs. So you really have to ask yourself, do you want to go with something that's proven or something that's proving itself right now? Question number 3, does it have to be full frame? In my opinion, full frame sensors offer larger pixel sizes, which let more light in, which ultimately leads to less noise overall in the image. The sensor doesn't have to work as hard. If used properly, Micro Four Thirds cameras offer amazing quality pictures. And if you understand how to use these systems, it's gonna work out really, really well for you. Full frame sensors offer the use of full frame lenses, which provide that shallow depth of field, the bokeh that everyone loves. However, they're more expensive, whereas Micro Four Thirds cameras are less expensive and also produce really amazing quality if you understand how to use the cameras. So, does it have to be a full frame? Do you have the budget to spend on the glass that will be required to work with that sensor? So you have to look at the lenses that you have already and which system is going to work well for that. Question number 4, what will you be shooting? Videos or stills? Or a combination of both? You really have to look at what the bulk of your work will be. Will you be photographing a lot? If that's the main consideration, look at the camera system that takes the best tack sharp photos, if that's what you need from the system. If you need a system that does more video, definitely look at systems that lean heavily towards video capture. If it's a combination of both, you have to look at something that is a nice mix of a cinema camera and a photo camera. Not something that replaces either one of those things, but something that can work really, really well within either field. There are a lot of cameras that work really, really well in that niche. There are some that lean towards stills, and there are others that lean towards video more. So you really have to find which is the one that works best for you. Just know you don't need to get the biggest sensor unless you're really planning to blow up really, really big photos. And if you have this thought of, one day I'll blow up that one photo, it's not really worth it. Most cameras can take pictures that can blow up really, really well, with visually lossless quality. If you want a camera that does more video quality, ask yourself what kind of video do you want coming out? Do you want something that looks really good coming out of the camera without any color correction, color grading? Do you want something that you can just pop into your editor and start editing? Or do you want to play with something that has a flat profile, then you'll color correct, you'll color grade it, and you'll work on that process? So you have to ask yourself, do you want to spend that time doing those things? Is it something you're comfortable with? Is it something you want to learn? Do you want to push yourself to do those kind of things? If not, there are cameras that have amazing picture quality coming straight out of the camera without that added extra step that you'll need to take if you just want to get videos done quicker. Question number 5, is learning a new post-production workflow going to benefit your time and produce better results faster? A lot of these systems require a new post-production workflow that you will have to learn. If you already have an established system and you switch to a whole new system, there are different procedures, there are different settings that you'll need to adjust. So be prepared to learn a whole new workflow just for this new camera system. And definitely trying to match camera to camera can become very tricky very, very quickly. So just understand that once you buy into a whole new system coming from an older system, if you plan to blend those two together, you will need to learn new settings. You will need to learn and adjust your workflow to make sure that you can match those two camera systems together. I was also hearing a lot of people talk about how it was hard for them to match the skin tones with other camera systems because you'll be working with different settings and different codecs, so which in the long run you may be spending more time trying to match these two systems instead of getting to the creative process and finishing and delivering faster. For me, on paper, the Nikon Z6, the Panasonic S1, and the Sony A7 III, they look like fantastic cameras. However, most of my workflow has been with Canon cameras. And I know the workflow, I know the post-production workflow, I know the quality that comes out of the cameras. I knew that if I bought into one of those new camera systems, I would have to consider buying new lenses, new adapters, and potentially adjusting my post-production workflow, which I know would slow me down in the long run. Ultimately, for me, it's creating the images, editing them, and getting on to the next one. And I want that process to be as smooth as possible every single time. If I know how a camera system works, for me, it really doesn't matter the specs and the nuance between the camera systems. As long as the images are of the quality that I'm looking for, get them edited in post, and deliver them as quickly as I can. However, if this is the first camera system you're looking at, this is a great time and opportunity to explore what will work best for you. What are the qualities of the camera? What are the qualities of the images coming out of the camera? What will the post-production workflow be? Really look into something that you're going to be able to invest into for a long time. And the majority of the time, the post workflow will remain roughly the same. The muscle memory of how to adjust the images to look as best as you want them to look. So really take the opportunity to look at the camera system as a whole, not just the individual one-off camera, because camera bodies come and go. The lenses and the adapters will remain, and you will be able to buy new bodies down the road for that camera system. So really invest in something that you know you're going to be able to commit to. So once you commit to a camera system, it becomes less about the tech and more about what can you do with it. And the faster you can get used to a camera system, the faster you can get to the creative process, which for me is the ultimate goal. I want a camera system that I can get past the tech, I know it works, and I know how to work with it in post-production. And really ask yourself these fundamental questions. Beyond the tech, beyond that one camera, what's the whole system and how is it going to work for you? Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have fun choosing your camera system. That's part of the fun of it. These are really toys and tools that you get to work with, and I hope you get creating as fast as you can. Don't forget to like and give me a big thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.